Welcome back to Radio Shack. Now, if you couldn't tell or if you're new to the channel, I'm a big fan of Power Rangers. Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles is what I talk about most on this channel. Is because I really am passionate about these two franchises, along with some of my comic book characters, but these are the ones I'm most passionate about. I really like talking about these two things. But what I want to talk about is, like, we're getting ready to go into the Hasbro era of Power Rangers with Power Rangers Beast Morphers, but right now currently we're still in the Neo-Saban era with the tail end of Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel. And I want to kind of talk about how I feel like this era is more disappointing. I don't hate these seasons, I don't hate them at all. I just think they come off more disappointing than anything because we know what Power Rangers could be. And I feel like we're backpedaling, you know. But like I said, this is not going to come off as a hate or a rant video, just a little discussion on why I think most people don't really go towards, you know, this Neo-Saban era. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is nostalgia. Now, nostalgia is a big thing in the world right now. It's what we base pretty much everything off of right now. But Power Rangers does pretty much the same thing, whether you're looking at toys and merchandise, as we're leaning more towards the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and anything. Yes, I know the 25th anniversary is coming up, but it's what they lean on most, and that's kind of what the shows do with the Neo-Saban era as well. As you can see, we're going back to the campiness of Power Rangers. Now, camp is always going to be in Power Rangers no matter what, but it's like on level 10, just like it was back in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and that's not what we've come accustomed to, really. I mean, looking at it now, we're taking the Power Rangers back to high school as well, which we thought we got away from that for a little while. I really appreciated when In Space took us away from high school because it started to become repetitive and it started to become the same thing over and over again, and that's starting to feel like the same thing here. And not only that, if you look at the theme songs of this era of Power Rangers, each theme has the through line "Go Go Power Rangers" in it, and that is pretty much what was the main theme of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And I see that's kind of like making less creative choices with theme songs. It wasn't until like Dino Charge, until we got like them creating their own theme song that was signature to that season, but still having the line "Go Go Power Rangers" in it. Hopefully that changes when we get to the Hasbro era, but we'll see. But not only that, they seem to like throw nostalgia in our face a lot. I mean, there are seasons that do it right, like Dino Thunder, but then you got seasons that do it wrong, and it's just there just to be there, you know. Next thing I want to talk about is the super seasons. The super seasons have got to stop. Even though I understand that you're putting super in there just because you want to, you know, acknowledge the Super Sentai counterparts, but it's really unnecessary. I really wish you would just go on and make it season 2, because now the super seasons are just pretty much their own thing, you know, trying to sell more toys. But that's what Power Rangers is in general. But gone are the days where we just had one singular season where we could tell one story and we had one through point we were trying to get to. But it's taken 2 seasons, but I understand, but the super seasons really have become more of filler episodes. And of course, all shows have a good amount of filler episodes, but a whole season that doesn't really focus on the full story at hand, it makes you not want to, you know, pay attention as much because they're mostly filler episodes. Now we got to get into characters. Now the characters, it may be the way they were written or the way they are directed, but most of these characters come off as one-note characters, and they come off really flat and robotic, you know what I mean? When I say flat and robotic, I mean they're just like one-note characters that don't change throughout the course of the season. They don't develop enough to where they're the same as at the end as the way they started, you know? And that really sucks. There's a handful of characters that you can say are developed and have great character arcs that change over the course of the season, but it's not many. Many are one flat, one note characters, you know, and it really sucks because it makes you have no connection to the characters. It makes them unrelatable, you know, and it really sucks because that makes you not really care about what these characters are going through. Now, one of the characters that, even though I am a huge fan, two of my favorite Rangers are Andros and Wes, but one of the characters I really related to was Trent from Dino Thunder, and you know, because he was an artist and all the other stuff that he went through. I mean, besides being a Power Ranger, I felt like that was my true Ranger I could really connect with. But you don't really see that here, and I don't see anything happening with these characters that you can really care about what exactly they're going through. But along with characters comes villains. Most of these villains come off as they're not memorable. I can tell you that for sure. I mean, there is a huge fan base for Sledge from Dino Charge. I mean, you can see how people were really excited when he came back for Super Ninja Steel. But I mean, you can also say that Heckle and Snide were pretty good villains. I mean, let's just say the fact that Dino Charge Season 1 was probably the best of this Neo-Saban era isn't really saying much. But yet, these villains don't come off as memorable. They don't really have a... They're really just there to be villains. They're villains for the sake of being villains. And that's what we're backpedaling back into Mighty Morphin Power. They're just there to be villains. And they don't really have a connection to the heroes at all. So that's what some of the best villains in Power Rangers history have. They have a connection to our heroes. Whether we're looking at Astromina from M Space, who has connections to Andros and the dilemma of being his sister that he lost from a young age and now grown to be this villain. Or you're talking about Rancic from Time Force, who was a mutant rejected by humans and also nearly destroyed Jen's fiance Alex. Not only that, we can look at the dual, you know, the dual path that Daishi and Casey had in Jungle Fury, and Vengex, who was created by Dr. K and now is trying to, you know, correct her mistake, you know, that she had to make in a tight situation, you know. And we don't really get any of that here. I thought we were going there with Samurai, but they didn't really go full on with it, and it really sucks. But even with all that, you can have great characters, you can have great villains, but if you don't have a story to tell for these characters to go through, for arcs for these characters to go through, it's all meaningless, you know. And it really feels like there's no focus, there's no through point of where we're trying to go. Like, half the time you don't even know where this is going to end and how this is going to end, because there's no true focus on where we're going, you know. And not only that, I always say a season of Power Rangers has to have a theme, you know. And I'm not talking about theme song, I'm not talking about, you know, theme of where their powers come from. I'm talking about theme, like what is the through point, what is the main thing you're trying to put on, you know, through our heads, that what this show is about. When I look at Lost Galaxy, it's mainly about sacrifice. When I look at Time Force, it's about changing destiny. When I look at Dino Thunder, it's a season all about trust. And with these past few seasons in the Neo-Saban era, you don't really have any of a theme. There's no through point, there's nothing you're trying to focus on, and it's mostly become filler episodes. And I know this aimed towards kids, so it's going to be more jokey and you know, fart jokes and all that stuff. But Power Rangers has always been kind of like Pixar. You know, it has an appeal to kids, but there's also adult storylines that older people can enjoy. And I feel like they kind of lost the sense of that, where they make something where, you know, older fans can enjoy, but also bring in newer fans. But hopefully we can fix that in the Hasbro era. those are just my thoughts on why I feel like it's more disappointing than the show sucks. I don't think it sucks really. It just comes off more disappointing, and we're backpedaling really. But what do you think? Do you enjoy these shows? I know there's people out there and there's kids that really enjoy the show, and I'm glad, because there's going to be Power Ranger fans as we move on. But if you don't enjoy the show, if you do enjoy the show, comment below, join the conversation, and as always, if you enjoy my thoughts, make sure you like, subscribe, and don't forget to power up that notification bell anytime you want to be notified when I upload a video. My last video will be linked in the description down below, and until my next video, I will see you later.